Hello, I am Jen. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you are returning. I do appreciate all the support. All right, this is going to be a collective reading, so take what makes sense for you, leave the rest. As well, you're responsible for all your own choices. There are disclaimers and links in the box below the video if you need anything further from me. All right, it's 7:21 on January the 19th. Oh, you can't really see that. On January the 19th, yeah, there we go. 2026. I think I just turned my flashlight on. Sure did. Okay. Like that. All right. So the general energy I have been picking up is fractals. And this morning while I was getting ready, just preparing for my day, I was thinking about how you have to be self-serving in order to serve others. Okay? Because fractals, right? So it starts here and it resonates outwards or ripples outwards, whatever, reverb even. And with reverb, that is when one sound bangs against another, right? And you get this is like, you get the effect of those two sounds hitting each other. It's not really the technical term, but you get the idea, right? Clashing frequencies. And it creates some sort of reverb. Now, when you're in alignment, the reverb is pleasant. It's not distorted, right? Like feedback for when you're holding a microphone too close to an amplifier. Or, you know, somebody might be a musician here. I'm picking up like a lot of music related things, studio, which would make sense. Someone I just recently connected to. But also somebody might be playing around with different frequencies or seeing what choices they make and what the reverb is from those choices or consequences, okay? Like what is it I'm getting back from this? So, all right, that's choppy. Anyways, without getting on my phone, I'm trying not to do that. I'll put the definition of reverb up if it is way out of line. Now, normally I wait and save the channeling for the end, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull some cards to start us off, and then I'll get into the oracle and then the tarot. All right? So, thank you, God, the Most High God, Mother, Father, for whoever needs this message. What does the viewer need to know? What are some clues for the viewer so they can know if this is their message or not? Thank you, God. Okay. So, this E, first name, middle name, last name, initial. I'm hesitant because this is an old tarot deck that I wrote on, and this is the devil card that came out. So, could be dealing with a Capricorn, or somebody that is going through some sort of Saturn return. So yeah, first name, middle name, last name, initial, E. All right, with some more clues for whoever needs this reading. All right, we have important person coming out. Three of Swords, all right? Like I said, it's an old tarot deck. It's missing the Two of Swords. So some sort of disappointment might have happened in October. You could be dealing with a Scorpio, or you could be a Scorpio. Just whatever makes sense, okay? Don't force it. It will line up. Six of Crowns. All right, so somebody might have tried to give or receive something in October. It could have been, I'm picking up with Six of Coins. It's some sort of exchange, all right? 16 through 30. Yeah, this could be Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, Lord of Crowns, younger earth sign. So here we have March. And one more, please, for now. All right, Ace of Swords came out reversed on this deck. So in December, something wasn't very clear in December. Somebody didn't communicate clearly in December. There's some sort of confusion here. Something wasn't clear. There was some sort of lack of either just clarity in a situation or some sort of community or some clarity. I'm picking up a glare and it keeps distracting me. So you might have been distracted by something else which could have contributed to the lack of clarity in a situation in either March, October, December. Or you could be dealing with Sagittarius, Capricorn, Libra, Scorpio, Aries, or Pisces. Okay, and we have L. And we'll pick this back up. I'll put a few more. I feel like something here came to an end, either in March or December, probably near the end. This is going to be really relevant towards the end of those months, as that is accurate. I'm strongly picking up death energy, like Scorpio energy. So there's been some sort of transformation here. And that ending created a new pathway for something new. That's what endings are. It's clearing the way so you can do something else. And I feel like this could have had something to do with work, or it could have had something to do with some sort of principle somebody was standing on, some sort of philosophy, self-philosophy. With this March energy, it feels like somebody has been really listening to their intuition and trying to tune in more to that, and like doing some self-contemplation. You know, with that important person being in the middle here, okay, that kind of ties into that initial intuitive message I was getting about self-serving, right? You have to realize you're an important person as well. And that will ripple outwards. You'll have, by realizing you're an important person, you will realize who else is also important to you. Okay. So, let's get some Oracle. This is the Oracle deck I have designed, the FeralSpirit Oracle deck, and you can purchase it from the link under the box, or under the video, under the box. Something might be under a box, you might be moving, or you might need to move a box. So, yeah, okay. What is the Oracle message for the viewer? Thank you, God. What is the Oracle message? All right, so we have the card Fruition, 8. Right? So this is something that goes around, comes around. Something's coming back here. It's being added to. And I feel like this is because of some sort of spirit that you're putting out, right? That's what powers everything, is the spirit of something. High vibe, low vibe. You just got to figure out what's working for you or what you're doing. What's not working for you. I did talk about reverb. So there's some sort of feedback here. Feedback loop. Fruition. You could be dealing with a Leo or a more Scorpio energy, 8th house energy. There's something here that definitely is transmutation. All right, what's another Oracle message for the viewer? Thank you, God. You might be becoming more aware of patterns or cycles in your life. We have manifest. I just instantly just put that right on important person. So you might be manifesting an important person, or by acknowledging some sort of important person, whether it's yourself or another, you might be, manifesting some sort of collaboration is what I'm hearing. All right, so 21. 12 could be relevant, December, 21. Also 3. Which brings us to March. So something could be really relevant about manifesting in March. You might notice some sort of shift or change actually coming to fruition in March, near the end of March. Some work you have been doing since October or December. All right. Wish. So this is a great card, honestly. Like, if you watched my face when this came out, it's delightful energy. So you could 26, 62, or 8 again. So we have 8, 3, 8. That could be a number that you're noticing, or let that be confirmation if you do see that this is for you. Yeah, so there's some sort of wish being granted here, and it's because you let something go in October, or you let something go, period. It could have been in October, it could be a Scorpio, but whatever it is, this is that work that you've been doing is finally, fractals, paying off. Okay, you're starting to notice it come back around. What goes around comes around, right? We have cycles on the bottom. So definitely you've learned a lesson here. There's some sort of completion. Yeah, that's great. Moving right along. I'm going to save that one. That's my little weird intuitive deck. I wanted to experiment. Somebody could definitely be into science, or I'm seeing like test tubes. Somebody could be testing something. Yeah, that all goes back to that reverb energy, that fractal energy, right? Seeing what comes back after you make a choice, seeing how it resonates with you, right? What the ripples look like. All right, what are the soul care? This is another deck I've designed. It's a soul care deck, Feral Soul Care deck. And you can purchase that as well in the box below the video. All right, what is the message for the viewer? Thank you, thank you, thank you. What is the message for the viewer? All right, Sagittarius. So this could be happening, could have happened in Sagittarius season, right? So that's the end of it's the beginning of end of November and the beginning of December. 9th house, Jupiter, philosophy, religion, and law. That goes back to where I was talking about somebody's philosophy. Yeah, with that Jupiter energy too, that's expansion. So you might be expanding your boundaries or expanding some sort of philosophy you've been living. You might be recognizing some sort of, I'm hearing natural laws. So that would be, you know, as above, so below, as without. There's always the opposite. Yeah, that's definitely, I feel like that's what you've been doing. You've been listening. I'm picking up hangman energy, so somebody definitely could be a Pisces here. Or they just could have Pisces prevalent in their chart, and they're realizing that with, you know, their intuition, that this is that voice, right? Your intuition is the voice of God, whether you recognize it or not. And when you're tapped into that intuition and you get quiet and you meditate and you start lining up on the inside, you start being able to hear that little voice, and you start noticing when you follow that and you trust your gut and you follow your intuition that you are more prosperous. You have a softer path. Not that it isn't hard. It's just you're handling it better, all right? Because you have that guided outward direction. God is involved. So whatever that means for you. Do your choices support or disturb your soul? Like I said, somebody's got some philosophy going on here that they're expanding upon. Unconscious equals soul. That's a Jung quote by Carl Jung, or Jung, I think it's Jung. Third eye. So definitely some sort of intuition here. Your third eye chakra could be opening. You could be, like I said, experimenting. Somebody could be a bit of a bio, I'm hearing bioengineer. Bioscientist, biological scientist, or a science, something to do with biology, y'all. I don't know. All right, embrace the whimsical in Capricorn. So this could have something to do with someone's work. All right, they're seeing something here about the whimsical, and there's also 9 and 10. So with that Saturn energy that I was picking up, right? That is the season we're in. We just went through a new moon in Capricorn. There could be some sort of expansion here that's magical and has to do with your work or your reputation or some sort of elevation I'm picking up. Definitely. This might help you with your solar plexus coming out. This might help you gain more confidence, or you literally could just be shining, right? You're so comfortable with what you're doing and you're in tune with yourself that there's no dissonance. It's just you shine, okay? All right, a little bit further, 13 minutes in. I'm trying to make this a little quick. I don't know why. I just feel like it needs to be quicker than normal. We'll see. All right, what are some, yeah. I love divination. All right, so thank you, God. Fast. All right, so something's happening very fast, and that could be that energy I'm picking up on. I'm in a hurry to get things done. I rush and rush until life's no fun. So we have blocks coming out that could be relevant. So we could like country music. I believe that's a country song. Healthy mind, right? So all of this is just confirming what I've already discussed here. And sudden reward. So definitely some sort of intuitive payoff here. You might have realized back in March something that was in the way, okay? And you might have started really working on like meditation, like mind stuff, like getting healthy in your mind, getting healthy in your body, right? Body, mind, spirit. I had a conversation recently with a friend, and I was just like, there's nothing wrong with expecting reciprocation from whatever you're doing, whoever you're interacting with, right? Or the thoughts you're having, because it has to either pay the body, pay the mind, or pay the soul or the spirit, right? So it's like, what is it offering you? And most things hit at least one of those rings. What ideally you want, you know, at least 2, even as a baseline. So what is it giving? And somebody might have been acknowledging this or started studying even, you know, their own situation and started looking at how they're looking at things. I keep seeing those eyes. All right. So, yeah. So we have 7 and 1 and 8. So 888 could be really a confirmation here. With 11, you're starting to see that give and take, right? You're starting to see the payoff here. This is a happy event, like-minded. Frogs, right? That's giving me more of that speedy energy, where it's like I feel like I need to move things along. So with 7 and 1, from the 7, I'm picking up like 7th house. I'm trying to think of the houses. Hold on. That's got to be Libra. So that's your contracts, hidden enemies. Pretty sure that's what that is. In your first house, okay? And your first house is going to be the house of Aries, right? That's the head. So this is all tying in. Somebody might be in therapy, or somebody just might have been just doing the work, even on their own, with their mindscape, okay? Now with this 8 card, this is some sort of opposition. That goes back to that reverb, right? I'm picking up like feedback from like an amp. Like you hold a microphone in an amp, it's a horrible noise. It's like the squat is awful. It's like static. So this kind of some sort of opposition. You might have realized who's in the way. Okay? You might have realized who is actually like not, they're causing some sort of dissonance or some sort of feedback in your life that's not helpful. And it's a block, actually, with that, you know, block. It could be a block to do with your security, whether that's physical, your home, or just your sense of security within yourself. I'm picking up root chakra. So this, you know, definitely could have been where you just started doing the work and trusted your intuition. Okay? Hopefully, this is making sense for someone. Got off to a rough start. It's definitely it's really bugging me about the reverb. Like, I'm gonna have to look at it. I was trying to avoid it, but something about that. Let's define reverb. Define reverb. All right. Reverb, a reverberative effect produced in recorded music by electronic means. A device used for producing this effect. An electronic effect which simulates echoes or reverberations in the sound signal being processed. Okay, so I'm not too far off, right? Not too far off. We do have a tarot card that came out, and it is the 9 of Wands, more Sagittarius energy. This is somebody who's been through a lot, all right? They haven't given up, though. It's almost like they put in the effort. I'm hearing elbow grease. Judgment coming out, more Scorpio energy. Yeah, I feel like somebody might have tried to discuss this with a group of people, and it almost feels like it fell on deaf ears. Somebody might play the horn or a horn, picking up like trumpet, cornet, tuba, you know, French horn, stuff like that. Just the brass section. Okay, so somebody that might be relevant here. So we have the 10 of coins coming out and the 4 of wands. All right, so there's definitely some sort of family situation here, some sort of home situation. Somebody didn't give up hope, right? They're still making judgment calls as far as their money goes and as far as their stability goes. I feel like somebody has discovered some sort of diamond in the rough, okay? And for me, when I think of diamonds, who wouldn't like diamonds? They're very strong. But on top of that, how do I explain this? It's like the diamond is sitting in the crown, right? Your third eye chakra. And there's somebody here who's realizing what that, tapping into that intuition, what that can do for them in the long haul. There's long money here too. Like the decisions someone is making is leading them towards long-term stability. There's also some sort of celebration here. Somebody might have, it's almost giving me don't want to go, but I feel like I should, right? So I feel like that kind of energy is dissipating. Ace of Wands on the bottom. So if you are invited somewhere, I would definitely, there's opportunities here, and I think you're going to have fun. Could be a family event. I'm noticing all the diamonds. This could be a wedding even, or a proposal, or engagement party I'm hearing. Somebody might have been out in the cold. I'm picking up 5 diamonds, right? And somebody might have been out in the cold in some sort of relationship. And it's almost like they didn't give up on it. They're just having to decide whether to speak up or speak out. They're making that decision, or they have made that decision. All right. What is this about for the viewer? Thank you, God. What is this about for the viewer? All right. So we have the 2 of Coins, more of that decision-making, pro and con, like weighing it up. And then we have the Hierophant coming out sideways. Okay, so this is Taurus energy. This is somebody deciding, do I want to commit to this? I mean, you could just be deciding whether you want to go somewhere or not. It could be work even. Or is this the type of work I want to do? Is this where I want to live? This who I want to build a family with? I'm talking, that's the level of decision making going on here, right? Do I want to commit to this? The Hierophant, that's a higher energy. That's a devotion. That's commitment. That is recognizing that this thing, I'm going to make choices that are revolving around this commitment, this devotion. Okay? Definitely could be a wedding of some sort, guys. Wow. Strong wedding vibes or engagement vibes. We have Death, the Devil reversed. I keep all the Devils reversed in my deck because I'd like to give us, you know, the upper hand if possible, when possible. So this is somebody who is putting an end to, you know, whatever toxicity, they've overcame it. We have Justice on the bottom. And that is where that feedback is coming back from. You're getting, I don't want to say good karma, because like what could be good karma for me could be bad karma for you. But it is some sort of karma, right? You're getting the payoff officially. And wherever there has been disappointment, 3 of Wands, I feel like something's going to be made fair. Definitely made right. The scales are being balanced. And that's because somebody is trusting their intuition. They've been doing a lot of work. I opened it to the Chariot. Somebody's been doing a lot of work involving family, home, their home base. There's some sort of stability with that Chariot. That is somebody that knows they're moving forward. They're just not quite sure what direction, or they're taking control of the direction in which they're moving forward. I put this down. Why did I put that down? All right. What is the... where's the viewer at in this energy? Because I'm pretty sure you're the one making the decision. Definitely, yep, Knight of Swords, you're the one taking the movement forward. You're the one that feels that pressure, right? Could be dealing with the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or you could be that sign. Overall, though, you're the one moving forward. You're the one putting the truth out there. You're the one communicating, okay? This might hit you. This feels like it just happens. Like you realize, like, I have to do this. I have to be the one that makes the move here. I have to be the one that commits or devotes to this for the long haul in order to have some sort of happy home life or some sort of happy long-term stability. It's inspired action, right? We have the Knave of Wands on the bottom here. So this is definitely, viewer, you're the one making the decision. You have the Ace of Swords in your hand, so you know with clarity what you're doing, why you're doing it, who you're doing it with. And I feel like you're going to speak up about this. This has been on your mind a really long time. Really long time. It could involve family or just some sort of long-term commitment. It could be a job commitment, career change. You know, I don't feel like it's bad at all. I feel like you're getting some sort of payoff here because you expanded your philosophy, your life philosophy, your mindset, whatever that is for you. All right. So we have the Tower coming out. That's that. Like that. I'm seeing a rocket take off. Something to do with Florida. Somebody might be from Florida. But just a rocket, like Cape Canaveral. Somebody could be really into space. Something to do with astrology, stars. I'm hearing observatory. Somebody could be observing their feelings even with that third eye energy. That is a practice. I cannot remember for the life of me where I learned it from. But it is, instead of saying, I am feeling anxious, I now say, I observe anxiety. I observe frustration. And when I practice this, right, remember to practice it and apply it, I calmed down. It's really interesting, and I can see, like, way better than I've ever been able to see before. So if you are a person that taught that, and I got it from you, thank you, because it has changed so much in just the last week since I've been actually, like, applying it to my life. So maybe that is something here that somebody's been doing or somebody needs to be doing. All right, with that Tower, this is something that happens so quickly. With the Tower energy, this is somebody that, like, I'm noticing the crown, right? The crown falling off the top of this tower here. This is somebody who, for so long, it feels like conditioning. Like, once they open up that crown chakra, right? Paying attention to the third eye, meditating, these things. Once they realize and connected to that divinity or changed who or what they were being committed and devoted to. Like, there's a revelation here that happens. It could be about a foundation, could be about an event, or some sort of long-term goal. Somebody might talk funny. Somebody might have a bit of a lisp or a speech impediment, or just an accent in general. There's somebody here who, I think it's you, viewer, that has realized, like, something to do with long-term stability. And you've been making judgment calls, or you still are making, yeah, Two of Wands on the bottom. Decisions, right? Let's clarify this Tower. Can you please tell us more about this Tower? Because that's unexpected. This could happen at your house. It could happen at a social event. You could run into someone you've known, somebody you could cross paths. That's the Six of Cups. So this could be a soulmate connection. You know, this is like when you haven't seen someone in a while and you run across them and you just kind of have a moment. This magic moment. That type of vibe. Ace of Pentacles. This definitely could lead to some sort of long-term stability. Definitely could be a job offer, okay? This could be because you trusted your gut, right? And got out there. And even though there was opposition, you trusted your philosophy. You trusted your religion, your law, right? Stay with me here. So by doing that, you're getting a career change, or you're getting that solid, stable offer, that gift from God that says, thank you. Thank you for listening. That's all I've ever asked for. Thank you for listening. So, yeah, Queen of Wands. So this could be something to do with some sort of creative endeavor. You could be receiving a leadership role here, or just taking the lead. King of Cups. Somebody's going to... All right, so... You are at an event, be prepared for somebody to get you cornered, somebody you've known for a really long time. They're going to tell you how they feel. The King of Cups coming out reverse. This is somebody who is drowning in their feelings. And that's coming out with excess. Okay, I'm picking up. Drunk guy got you cornered at a party. That's the vibe here. And somebody is telling someone else how they feel about this, some sort of either marriage, engagement, long-term commitment, could be their job. But this King of Cups, this person is going to be intoxicated or was intoxicated, okay, if this is happening or has happened. Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff, guys. Look into time. It's not linear. So, excuse me. All right, so with this King of Cups, it should be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Whoever this is, they are in their feelings. It's almost like somebody was manipulating their own feelings. And all of a sudden, the dam burst. And now I'm going to pour all these feelings out. This is definitely a drunk person at a party or a situation in an environment with a group of people not giving. They're going to say what they got to say. I don't know why that energy is so strong. But it is. I feel like somebody's going to pour out their emotions here and screw anybody else who don't like it. Okay? Self-serving, somebody definitely could be, no judgments. I am an alcoholic, and I do what I got to do for recovery. But somebody here could be self-serving, like pouring their own drinks. Oh, it's giving me Garth Brooks, I got Friends in Low Places vibe, where you're just like, I don't care. It can't get any worse. I don't recommend that. This could be somebody even you're connected to, and you're just like, this is not working. This person in my life, I've tried to not give up on them, but man, what am I committing to here? And you're realizing that you're committing to the past, and you can't keep committing. You can commit to the past to a degree, but it's not going to help you move forward. You got to create new pathways, right? This feels like a path that has been treaded a few times with this person. You have been through this quite a few times with this person. This is like somebody gets drunk and goes, woe is me. All right, they're that energy. Gender does not matter. There is a lot of masculine energy out here, but this gender doesn't matter in tarot. So this is going to be a masculine energy. This could be, you know, a chick at a party, or this, whoever it is. You might have been the one that got cornered. I feel like you are. Or you're the person that is expressing how you feel. And maybe you took some liquid courage to say what you needed to say. It's being said, though. Or it has been said. And it caused some sort of tower moment. Somebody wasn't expecting this. I do believe that, you know, this is do your own research, right? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. None of the, I'm just Jen. Jen. So, but I do believe that certain substances, when we are called to those certain substances, we have to look at them and ask ourselves, what frame of mind or what frame of energy does that substance have that wants me to get in there with it, right? So like for me being a drinker, there's something there about distilling, purifying, right? If you think about alcohol, it kills off things. So what substance here? Why am I doing this? What is it I'm wanting to partake in that substance for, right? So there's something to do with there. My freaking forehead, not like feverish, but it's warm. It feels like it's like, so you could, that could be something for you. You could be perspiring. I'm not perspiring, but I am like noticing my forehead's getting warmer and warmer. So that could be something here. I feel like somebody has blonde hair for sure. Somebody could have a beard. Definitely there's a long-haired individual here, a short-haired individual here, a bearded individual here. I feel like the long-haired individual is going to be bringing some sort of rationale to a situation. Temperance on the bottom, more Sagittarius energy. Just could have been at a holiday party, somebody said something. You know, or just let it all hang out. That's a song. I don't know the name of it. Yeah, somebody might have been somebody might have been hoping for a reaction as well, and they didn't get it. The reaction they were hoping for. It's giving me that reverb energy, okay? Somebody might have just stayed really balanced even though they were disappointed in a situation. You stayed balanced though because you realize that you're in charge of your passion, your feelings, Queen of Wands energy, right? You're in charge of that, but also Queen of Pentacles, you're in charge of what you deal with, okay? Your self-worth. You might have recognized that, like, exactly, this is why I didn't want to deal with this anymore. There could also be two very beautiful people that this is involved with, like King of Wands, Queen of Wands, like they're very attractive energies. So this could be, you know, just two people having that epiphany where they cross paths, and it's just that recognition where it's like, what are we doing here? Like, we're both attracted to each other, or we're both attracted to the same long-term goal, okay? It doesn't even have to be a physical attraction. It could just be two like-minded individuals who are like, we want the same thing for the long haul. What are we going to do about it? And I feel like once that, something here happened just so fast, or it is going to happen fast for whoever this is for. Anything else the viewer needs to know? I feel like you're the one communicating, viewer. Maybe it could be, you know, just being like, I don't want to live the way I've been living, or I can't hang out with that person anymore. They get me out of myself. They get me away from the path that I'm hoping to be on. So what is the, yeah, Ten of Swords. Yeah, like you're done with this energy, whatever this is. Sun card on the bottom. You've been a lot happier either since, or you will be a lot happier. Also, there's, you know, some truth exposed here. This feels like somebody got drunk and then said a bunch of stuff at a party or in a social setting where there was more than one person. It could have been even to their family. Seven of Swords, they might have exposed some sort of lies, or some sort of deception. And I feel like, viewer, you're I feel like you're going to be the one that makes the movement, right? Whether it's community, whether it's forward clarity, whatever this is, that Knight of Swords energy. I feel like you're going to be the one that says something about this. You could even be telling someone else about this situation that happened. And you're just realizing, I don't want to be devoted to this intoxicating, you know, repressive. With that King of Cups reversed, that is somebody who stuffs their feelings down and then finally implodes and, you know, just it's not, you weren't expecting it from this person. It definitely could have something to do with some sort of romantic feelings. I'm noticing the heart. It came from the heart, even if they were drunk, okay? But it is just somebody who doesn't know how to balance their feelings. They have no balance. They could also be expressing or saying something about some sort of betrayal, right? I did have that Seven of Swords. This could be like, you know, and that's the last time you lied to me. Ten of Swords. We're done. Can't get any worse than this. So, all right. Anything else the viewer needs to know? Thank you, God. Anything else the viewer needs to know? Knave of Coins. All right, so that could be this, you know, solid, stable offer here that's coming in, this lesson learned. Somebody's, you know, trying to plant something new. That Knave of Coins, it's like, well, I've learned something here, or I learned something, you know, in the past that I can apply now. Something about knowing how to do something and applying it. You can know how to do something all you want, but until you actually apply it, knowing is, you know, what good is that? Like, it's great that you have all that knowledge and wisdom, but what are you doing with it? Then that could be, you know, somebody even with, you know, area of study. If somebody's in school, it's like, all right, what are you doing with that? You just went to school, you got that degree, so what are you doing? And I mean, somebody could be realizing, you know, they devoted and committed to that long-term thing, hoping it would bring stability, and realizing, like, this is not even remotely close to what I want to be doing. So they're starting over with that Knave of Coins, right? Going towards something, another option, some sort of disappointment. Somebody got some information here that caused a problem. Very disappointing. This could even, I mean, if this is a long-term situation that's ending, whether it's family, romantic, or friendship, or otherwise, like career even, it's disappointing. There was some sort of information here that was extremely disappointing. But I don't feel like you let it set you back. I feel like you made a reset with it. You restarted with this energy, okay? I feel like whatever this failed commitment is, you're not letting it hold you back from recommitting to something else. Recommitting. Yeah, Three of Wands. You're still looking at ways to be committed or devoted to something else here. You know, seeing what else you can take that energy, that devotion, right? Where can I take that devotion and that energy and put it towards what I actually want to be putting it towards? Something that's going to help me grow, help others grow. Self-serving, and then by being self-serving, I'm serving others. Maybe somebody is in service work, or you have a message or something here, that Knight of Swords, you know, you have a message you're supposed to be delivering. Five of Cups could have to do with, you know, just how low something got. You might be spiritually, like, feel this, like, in your soul that you have to say something about this. I feel like that's your spirit and your spirit team and your ancestors and all that business, like the divine stuff. I feel like that's what's really trying to encourage some sort of connection here. Three of Cups. You know, there might have been some time in between where, with you and another person, where it's just, you've been just healing. With the Lovers coming out, it's more Gemini energy, Nine of Cups, yeah. So somebody's going to choose a contract here. Somebody's going to choose what makes them feel satisfied. Because only from that energy of being happy and satisfied and, you know, okay with life, can you give more. Can you produce more, create more with God? This really is one step 2 steps back and 1 step forward, but realizing what eventually over time that 1 step forward, you get a little farther and you get a little farther. Might feel like 2 steps back, right? But whatever you've been devoting yourself to is kind of holding you back, because whoever that energy is, they're emotionally indulgent. They perhaps might have even lied or manipulated you somehow. You know, this doesn't have to be huge. This could be just, you know, somebody that said something and you realize they're lying to you and you're just like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to invest in that. You know, whether it's family, friend, or at work. Queen of Coins. Definitely could be work or somebody you work with. 8 of Cups, yeah. 8 of Wands. So once you realize this, I feel like that's where, moving forward, chop chop. Somebody could be a Virgo here. All right, let's get a few more clues and then we're out of here. All right, thank you, God. What are a few more clues for the viewer? Just wrap this up. Thank you, God. All right, so we have last. That came out upright. I'm going to put that there. We have the 6 of Scepters, some sort of victory, attention. Q, first name, middle name, last name, initial, and somebody finally let go of something. This could be D, so first name, middle name, last name, initial. DQ, something about Dairy Queen. Somebody could really like ice cream. Something to do with the summertime. 10 of Crowns. Yeah, some long-term commitment here. N, first name, middle name, last name, initial. I'm picking up like VPN, like some sort of electronics. Definitely could be a message that comes in over the internet, obviously. But this feels like technical. Somebody definitely here. It's called, you know, Aquarian energy. It's Virgo meets Aquarian, and they're working together, and they have all this innovative energy, but it's scientific. There's something scientific here. And someone likes ice cream. Hidden enemy on the bottom. The ice cream could be a problem. Check your sugars. Maybe you're allergic to certain sugar sweeteners. It could be just sugar, you know. So it could be realizing they've had a reaction to that or something technical here. Somebody could be into computers. I'm hearing computer servers. Something here to do with the server. We have T coming out. Don't quit is what I'm picking up. Don't stop believing. Something about a journey or the band Journey. L is back on the bottom. Yeah, that hidden enemy came out. Somebody, okay, landed on, this is the last time, right? Last is here, N is here, hidden enemy. It's the last time that person does something to me. September, you could be dealing with a Virgo. Could be dealing with a Libra. It's the last time I'll let that happen. Something about Tennessee and downtown. Downtown. Somebody might have a scooter or like mopeds. Something to do with hallucinogenics. What is this hidden enemy for the viewer? Thank you, God. What's this hidden enemy for the viewer? 8 of Wands. Could be a Sagittarius. Some sort of communication. I feel like somebody tried to make a move here. Yeah, based off someone's feelings. Queen of Cups, upright. Okay. They might have played someone's feelings here. This hidden enemy. Something to do with their it could have been a Sagittarius. Could be their principles or philosophy. I feel like they got exposed and you're done with that. You know, it's the last time that person, yeah, it's the last time that person's going to do that to me. Ace of Pentacles, there's that Knave of Coins. There's the Ace of Coins, okay? I'm getting a new solid start over here. I see very clearly, wow, Queen Cup's still on the bottom. I see very clearly what's going on here. And I lost an opportunity, or I'm going towards an opportunity now that I see very clearly. Going towards an opportunity. Emperor. All right, so somebody could be an Aries, or they could just be talking to a boss or taking charge of a situation, right? 7 of Wands. Yeah, stand your freaking ground if this is you. Stand on business, stand your ground. Okay? Don't let this person do that again. They're not learning, and you need to apply what you've already known. I feel like you already knew this person was kind of sneaky. You've been committed or loyal to somebody that's, or something that wasn't exactly honest, okay? You might have, yeah, it could be a fire sign, guys. I opened this to a Knave of Wands. So you definitely could be a younger fire sign. But yeah, somebody here, like, was listening. I feel like they're listening to their intuition. And that's why this is all being exposed. And someone sees something here. They see another opportunity that they can go for. They just have to take the action and take the lead, okay? If this is for you, you got to take the action. You got to communicate. You got to be the one that reaches out. You got to be the one that makes the move. You got to be the one that speaks the truth. I don't see it going poorly for you at all. No, I don't. 9 of Cups. You're going to be so happy with yourself. So satisfied. Fucking do it. Excuse my French. I got chills. Okay, you could be, I've got chills going down my left side, so there's some sort of feminine energy here, but also it is some sort of rush you get because you realize that the opposition, it's like, it's not real because you stop opposing yourself. That's all I got. All right, I'm not getting anything else. Like I said, if you heard any signs called out, it's you or them. Put it where it needs to go in your life. Definitely could be dealing with an earth sign, a water sign, an air sign, and a fire sign. I mean, that's everybody. But we got strong Sagittarius, strong Scorpio. Scorpio, somebody could talk like that. Somebody could like Adam Sandler. Somebody's name could be Adam or Sandler. But there is something here where it's just, it's very practical until it gets emotional. And once those emotions are out, or you recognize where you've been holding back on some sort of emotions, or somebody's been emotionally manipulating you with their actions, okay? This is like somebody did something. Somebody did something and you're like, that doesn't make sense. Reverb. What signal is that sending me? That doesn't make sense coming from the situation or that person. Like, something here did not make sense. And you might have gotten drunk and just called it out. And you're like, yeah, well, you're all full of shit. Or I'm full of shit. I don't know. Something to do here where it's like, all of y'all. I don't care. I'm not biting my tongue anymore. That's the vibe. Okay? And you're recognizing that wherever I put that loyalty, that devotion, that commitment, my traditions, I can shift that energy over here, start anew, and apply the things I learned from that. Whether it's a job, a relationship, a house situation, a work situation, whatever it is, family, you are recognizing you can apply that someplace else. Or apply to someplace else. All right, that's good energy. That I like that ended on that 9 of Cups, because you're going to be very satisfied with yourself. Like, once you take this action, if you haven't taken that action, if you have taken the action, you're going to start seeing it pay off. You're going to start seeing your own elevation, okay? You're going to start seeing yourself level up, whether it's mind, body, spirit. May it be all three, okay? But that crown and that third eye, you are connecting with your Christ consciousness here. You're finally understanding what that means. It's not attached to religion, okay? This is your religion, your own law, your own philosophy. You're finally recognizing what that means, and you're applying it to your life. Good job! You're doing good. This reading is for you. Good job. Other than that, guys, I hope this is helpful. Something about donuts. So we could work in a place with donuts, or something about donuts. But anyways, clearing ground. You're going to be very satisfied. So I hope this is helpful, and many, many blessings until we talk again. There's a button down here that turns this off.